It is the beginning. Well, we had week 0, which happened this past weekend, but week 1 of college football starts this weekend, and here to talk about it is Steve Clark inside the game. Steve, it is that weekend that we have been waiting for, well, since the end of last season.
Yeah.
Morning, Dave. I know I've had a lot of pressure to talk about college football this year, and I just want to know, Dave, has my family been released yet?
Not yet. We'll see how this one goes and what you think the outcome of the Ohio State-Texas game is, and then we'll talk.
All right, well, God bless my family, and please keep them well. Number 2, Ohio State kicking off their football season against number 1 preseason ranked Texas at the Shoe this Saturday at noon. It's going to be the first time, guys, that a 1 versus 2 matchup has occurred on the opening week of the season. Both teams will be debuting new quarterbacks this year. No player, though, has received more offseason hype than Texas's Arch Manning, the nephew of Peyton and Eli Manning, and the grandson of Archie. Meanwhile, Ohio State's going to turn to Julian Sayans, who was redshirted last season. He'll have Heisman Trophy candidate Jeremiah Smith to throw to in what will likely become a big affair between Ohio State's offense versus the Texas defense that returned 7 starters.
All right, so I know it's a big ask, but what are you thinking? I mean, just what's your prediction for that game? 2 great football teams, no doubt about that.
So Texas lost to Ohio State in last year's semifinals. There's an edge there. It was their second consecutive season of failing 1 game short of reaching the national title game. Ohio State's a 2.5-point favorite in this one at home, but there's been increasing sentiment shifting to Texas as we get closer to game day. Look, I always feel that home field advantage is a big strength in an even matchup.
Yeah.
The thing is, Texas has Arch Manning, but is he more about hype or production? Because if he was really that good, couldn't he have beaten Quinn Ewers out?
Right.
I'm not exactly sure. Both teams are going to be reloading with great talent, just unproven talent in this one. I think Ohio State's going to find a way to win this one to go 1-0 on the season and have bragging rights to start off the first of possibly 2 matches between these 2 teams.
You hear the sound. That's the sound of your family being right. Have a good day. We fed and kept you with plenty of liquids. Nicely done. All right, nicely done, Steve. Your family is free.
Is Michigan State supposed to be any good this year?
Well, Michigan State is expected to be an improved team, Pat, and thanks for asking about that. They're going to be hosting Western Michigan on Friday night. Many of them are expecting an improved quarterback play from Aiden Childs, who will be starting his second season there. And he's got a really good target in Nick Marsh at receiver. He's going to be one of those up-and-coming household names, I think, in the Big Ten. Michigan State, though, has a lot of work to do on its defense and a lot of work to do on its offensive line. Of course, their big game is against Michigan coming up later this year, and that game will be played in East Lansing.
Okay. And I watched Central Catholic play Friday night, and they have, I think, somebody that's going to Notre Dame next year. What does Notre Dame look like?
Well, Notre Dame is involved in one of the other marquee matchups this weekend as they play the Miami Hurricanes at Hard Rock Stadium. Redshirt freshman C.J. Carr will take his first snaps of his collegiate career against a really tough defense, made up mostly of transfers, but pretty decent. Notre Dame has a ton of talent in the offensive line, and with one of the nation's best running backs in Jeremiah Love, it's going to take some of the pressure off Carr. The Irish are 2.5-point favorites. And those in Ohio who may not know this, C.J. Carr named the starter. He is the grandson of Michigan legendary coach Lloyd Carr, who chose to go to Notre Dame and not Michigan.
Oh,
Isn't that
wow.
I forgot about that, yeah.
That's right. So is Michigan, how are they going to fare this year? Because my husband was a Michigan fan.
Well, and he isn't anymore?
Well, he's deceased.
Oh,
so,
that's right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's right.
No.
Some would claim he's a bigger Michigan fan now. You know, I mean, but not Ohio State fans, but right.
That's right. Yeah.
Pat, this is what we call in the business a brain fart.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. That's fine. I
apologize.
That's okay.
The Wolverines are opening their season with a inconsequential night game with New Mexico. Michigan is a 5-touchdown plus favorite in this one. Today's big news out of Ann Arbor is they're going to name true freshman Bryce Underwood as their starter. Players were allegedly told last night he was the number one rated player in this year's freshman class. Now, considering that Michigan won 8 games last year without even really throwing the forward pass, Michigan's passing game should improve greatly. It's just really kind of a matter of how much. And when you lose 2 picks that were drafted in the top 13 off their defense, is Michigan going to be able to reload there with some of the upcoming talent that's coming through? So those are some of Michigan's questions. A lot of people are expecting maybe a 10-2 or 9-3 year out of the Wolverines this year. And Ohio State will be favored when they play them in Ann Arbor after Thanksgiving.
Well, that's cool. A little breaking news on Michigan. That's great. Let's talk baseball for a minute. The Detroit Tigers still doing great. The Cleveland Guardians. Well, let's talk golf for a minute.
Okay.
So, Tommy Fleetwood wins $10 million on, I think, his first PGA victory.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, talk about if you want to win one PGA Tour victory, you might consider it the Masters, maybe the U.S. Open. But why not the FedEx Cup and the $10 million prize that comes along with it? It's the first time the 34-year-old Englishman has ever won a PGA Tour title. And I think now this has changed hands twice where they say the greatest player not to win a tournament has won his first tournament this year. And we're talking generally about people in their 30s who have never crossed that threshold. But Tommy Fleetwood does that. Not only does he win for the first time, but he wins the FedEx Cup as, I guess, the nation's best player, even though Scotty Scheffler is far and away the best player. So I don't know how that all works, but that's sports.
What happened to Scheffler? Because I know he was favored, but I didn't see any of this.
He looked pretty frustrated the whole round.
Well, I mean, they reset the scores. They changed it for this year that everybody starts at ground zero. The points don't matter. So nobody had a stroke advantage. And, you know, Scotty Scheffler just played at even keel where everybody else. I think he finished like 4th or something like that, but he fell 4 strokes behind Tommy Fleetwood for the championship. I guess he struggled a little bit on the course Sunday, a little more than he usually does. And if they played under the old rules where Scheffler would have an advantage, he would have had a 5-stroke advantage over Fleetwood and would have won by a stroke, but they changed the rules to even the playing field.
Just this year? That was changed just this year? I mean, that this year was the first time for that. Well,
That's kind of weird. I wonder why they changed it. Like, then the whole season
means
nothing?
Well, it's kind of weird that you would even have a stroke advantage going into a tournament. Everybody usually starts at 0.
That's
makes
true.
sense to me.
That's true, but that's
well, I don't know what we'll talk about next week, Steve, given, all those football games that will have taken place, but we'll hit on the Detroit Lions and Cleveland Browns next week as well as they get their seasons underway. Thank you, Steve Clark. That's a little something we call Inside the Game.